Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of the Talk is Saint podcast. I'm here joined alongside my guest and potential enemy, TJ Jackson, aka Ty Remedy, or Ty Remedy, formerly known as TJ Jackson. Yeah, there's going to be times where I refer to you as both because most of your stuff in the past has been TJ Jackson. So what was it?
Happy to be here, by the way.
I know you're happy to be here. Everybody's happy to be on the Talk is Saint podcast.
First time.
Well, it would have been earlier, but you decided to move to Texas.
But I'm back now.
You're back. I don't know if being back was the best thing for you.
Why not?
Well, that car accident.
I mean, everything happens for a reason, you know.
It does.
I think some good will definitely come out of this.
Yeah.
Because of that car accident.
Definitely. So first thing I want to talk about is you, obviously. Back I want to say it was about a year or two ago, you made your debut here. You've put on great matches. I don't think you've ever had a bad match, or at least anything that was sloppy. No matter who you fought, you've always done something to make it not shit.
Right.
I remember me and you had our little 3-match trilogy, and I came out on top on that, and then we tied it, and then I put my career on the line. You know, I'm gonna go there.
One of the best matches.
That is still, other than the match I recently put on with Icon at the the second live stream we did, where those are my two favorite matches of all time. The reason my match with you was so important to me is because for some reason you were able to give me confidence to do something I've been trying to do for years, and that was the 450. And like, you could see you broke character in the match. Like, after I hit the 450 and I get up, I have the meanest headache in the world. You're just smiling. it was hilarious. But I put my career on the line and I lost because that's when we were offered the chance to go train pro. So I was like, I'm done with RSPW. Might as well just put it to rest. That was not the case at all. Not at all. There's been a lot of fun times with you, the guitar. Smashing the guitar on my back. I'm pretty sure I still have the scar on my back. Yeah. That's fun. It's weird to think that you were literally a nobody, no offense, and you became the best in RSPW. Like, without even being there a year, you were put up in the conversation with me, Icon, Young, and Hardcore at the time. Now, I asked Antonio Silva, JC, the same question. What did I miss when everybody decided to change their name? Like, 1 minute I'm like, yo, I'm about to beat Prince Icon's ass, or I can't wait to give TJ Jackson a title shot, or JCR Core, and then next day everybody has their name changed. I'm like, yo, what the hell? So you're going by Ty Remedy now, Prince Icon's Carmelo Lee, JCR Core is like Antonio Silva, and I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Well, I mean, the reason behind my name change, I just was looking for something different. Obviously, my first name is Tyreek, and I really don't like going by Ty.
We know.
The name Ty. But I just feel like, why not? It's something different.
It is
but
different.
I don't spell it regular. I spell Tye with an E at the end. And Remedy, I don't know. Me, Day Young, Carmelo Lee was just sitting down. We was just writing on a piece of paper names. And Remedy just stuck.
It is a great name. One thing I want to talk about is the most recent pay-per-view we did. I forgot the name of the pay-per-view, but I came out and it was supposed to be an open challenge because I was guaranteed my Northeastern title match because I was in my contract, but I never had an opponent. J-Mac answered, and then you came out, which shocked everybody. Like everybody, it was a return match. Like, J-Mac was returning because he hasn't been at RSPW in a couple months. You were returning, and it was been a while since you returned. Like, last time you returned, you and Icon had a fight, and then it was over.
Yeah.
Like, you left again. And then SW returned, and arguably 3 of the greatest backyard wrestlers of all time returned. And then it was probably a really good Fatal 4-Way match. We've done a lot of Fatal 4-Ways that have just been sloppy and all over the place. I mean, this match was really good. There was a few key moments where it was kind of iffy. The camera work was a little shaky at times. But other than that, it's probably one of the greatest fatal four-ways of all time.
I definitely like that fatal four-way.
It was fun. Thank you for the power bomb through the table.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it didn't break.
Yeah, it never breaks. It never breaks when I put somebody through the table. I don't understand why. I don't know. And I jumped off the trampoline.
Yeah, and you slammed me.
It still didn't break. But you took the hit, so I give you that.
I would take that all day, every day. It was so fun.
Did you expect that little hit from the back when you was handcuffed?
No, you're a bitch for that, by the way. You're a bitch for that.
I always surprise people in matches.
Yeah, I remember when we were having our match, the Iron Man match. You fucking slapped me in the ass with the plank of wood. I'm like, yo!
I always surprise people. You never know.
You've always been one of my favorite opponents. Like, because I've never had a bad match with you. Like, our first time having a fight together was just so easy to just...
I don't even remember our first match.
I don't remember it either, but I know, like... The way you won wasn't supposed to be how you won.
Oh, that was
I think that was our first one, but I remember that one very well. It wasn't a roll-up. I put you up on my shoulders to do my finisher, and I just fell, and you just took advantage of that, and it was just like, it made sense. It was perfect. Yeah. Wasn't supposed to happen, but it was perfect. It made sense. As you know, as the fans know, you got into a car accident, so you're kind of out of action for a while. There's a show coming up June 18th. As of right now, the only confirmed match is me and Dae Young. As you know, Dae Young fucking challenged me and forced me to come back. And I did sign a contract, so, I have to come back. I don't know what Carmelo's doing at the pay-per-view. As of right now, I don't think he has a match. And Antonio Silva has told me that he has a match, but he doesn't know against who. I just wanted to know what your plans for the 18th was, if there are any.
So I was supposed to fight Carmelo Lee. Obviously that's not happening. So I'm just gonna be in the crowd, cheering everybody on. But I do have a surprise for
the 18th.
Yeah, I do have a surprise.
Do I get to know, or do I have to wait?
I think you gotta wait.
I don't want to wait though. Antonio Silva did the same thing.
You gotta wait. I mean, if I let you know, it was a surprise.
Everybody with the surprises. I asked Silva a question. I was like, "We know you. We know you're the type of guy to always chase after the RSPW belt. We know what's happening. When are you gonna turn on Carmelo?" He's always done it, but he won't tell me. So,
I mean,
it's just a bunch of teasers and teasers.
Ty Remedy definitely has people watching out for him.
Oh?
Definitely has some people watching out for him.
I'm definitely looking forward to RSPW in the future. We have a show on the 2nd, which is a surprise show. There's no confirmed match card.
Hopefully I'm medically clear for that.
Hopefully, yeah. I still owe you a one-on-one match for the Northeastern belt because I didn't pin you in the Fatal 4-Way.
You did not.
But I still won.
But you didn't pin me.
Yeah, I pinned J-Mac because I lost a bet to SW.
Yeah.
But other than, we've always had great matches. You and I kind of always had great matches. Let's talk about teams for a minute. I'm going to ask you who your favorite team is in RSPW. And then, obviously, I know you and J-Mac teamed up, and I think that was the only tag team you were a part of, right? Or were you with another one?
No, that was the only one.
That was the only one?
I'm usually always solo. I feel like I work better solo. As you can see, me and J-Mac.
I didn't really, at the time, I was, really confused because you had J-Mac who was coming out to fucking, Bruno Mars, and then you were just so pissed off next to him. It was just a weird tag team.
It was definitely the tag team dynamic. We was both
right idea, wrong time.
Heavy hitters, it was that.
I remember
was more serious. He was more playful.
I remember me going on the meanest losing streak. I'm talking 0-15, and then I was in a 2-on-1 handicap against you and J-Mac, and to start off the match, I just ran out and super kicked you.
Yep.
And I posted that video on TikTok, and some other backyard guy who's been doing backyard for 20 years said that, "Oh, why didn't TJ Jackson sell it? It's a super kick. He should have just fell to the ground." And then the dude was just like, "Oh, super kicks are so overused." And I was just like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. You stay on your backyard."
Right. Because RSPW will any company has any day. So.
Pretty much, yeah. Put RSPW in your title, and you automatically get views.
But
Who is your favorite tag team in RSPW history? Like, if you had to pick any tag team or faction, because you know there has been a lot of factions, a lot of tag teams, but
I don't know. I would say
there's
the Prophecy.
Okay, now when you say Prophecy, do you mean Prophecy? Okay, so when we were talking about the Prophecy, are you talking about Prophecy before I joined or when I joined? Because in my eyes, the Prophecy was already the greatest tag team of all time before I joined. I was pretty much just there. Like, I was just there for depth at that point. But what Dae Young and Prince Icon at the time were able to do, and they built both of them up, because even when the Prophecy was disbanded, there's always been the Prophecy in both of them. Even now, they're inseparable.
I feel like so when I debuted, I think it was two. It was Dae Young and Prince Icon. Then I think you joined right when I debuted.
I remember I retired before you debuted.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Because I went up to you and I was just like, maybe one day I'll come back and get a match with you, and you said some shit. And then like a week later, we were in the basement, Icon's room at the time, and we were drunk. And I was just like, I'm bored. I want to return. And you guys were doing a show the next day. We did a show, and I was announced the third member of the Prophecy, and I fought Gacy K. And you were on commentary, and your jaw dropped, and you just... It was fun. But...
The reason I say they're my favorite, because I feel like I broke them up. I definitely feel like I broke them up.
What's confusing is I don't remember how I left the Prophecy. Like, I have to go back and watch videos. Like, I remember being in it, and I remember them beating me up before I get in and me joining, but I don't remember leaving or how I left. Like, and then it was so weird, because if you look at Dae Young now and Carmelo Lee now, and if you look at them before the Prophecy, they weren't really on the map. Like, I mean, Icon's always been the best, but when he was in the Prophecy leading that,
I beat him for his title while he was in the Prophecy.
And look what it did to him. He's arguably the greatest backyard wrestler of all time. Like, he's top 3 by himself. Like, it's just, it's hard to compete. Like, I said this in my last podcast with Antonio Silva. Like, the reason I've been out for the amount of time I've been out is I had a one-on-one match with Icon at the time, champion versus champion tables match. I suplexed him through the table, but the way he was holding me, we both went through it. So what made my mentality mess up is just that I was able to beat you, J-Mac, and SW in a fatal 4-way. But I couldn't beat Prince Icon one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And I haven't been able to beat Prince Icon in months. Every time we faced, he's beating me. He's like my biggest strength and my biggest weakness at the same time. When I'm with him, I feel like I can do any wrestling move imaginable, but I can't beat him. So that's kind of why I stayed away, because it's hard, because I've always considered myself the best. Yeah. And now being outdone by a person I've grown up with for almost 15 years, it's not easy. But you, on the other hand, you kidnapped his girlfriend.
Yeah. It definitely backfired.
That was kind of funny.
It was. It was one of. I think I was at one of my like breaking point moments. Like, I wanted a title. I wanted a title shot. I felt like I needed a title shot.
But I hope we get to see that match soon.
One day.
You and I and Carmelo Lee are going to put on the greatest match of all time. I'm talking like, if we had a WrestleMania, like, that would be like the main event. Like, I'm talking John Cena versus Rock type main event.
I told him before he slapped me, I told him that I didn't give up my title shot. I definitely didn't. So when I come back, that I Quit match still stands. It definitely still stands, and I'm gonna send him through the ringer. I'm gonna hurt him because he tried to take me out.
When you returned at that live stream, you had everybody in shock. And it was so funny, because now that it's already done and over with, I remember in the beginning we had our little thing, because it was like our 5-year anniversary, and Dae Young
Yeah.
This is the funniest shit ever. I handed him he was like, oh, talk about your greatest moment or whatever. He was just like, even TJ Jackson points dead at him. It's so good the cameras weren't like, and then he got mad at me because like I put his hand out. He's like, he's not gonna be here. Our fans don't know him. Like, oh my god, it was like he's arguably he's so good. Like I love Dae Young, and I've said this to Antonio Silva. You've never truly had the RSPW experience. You can't call yourself a RSPW legend if you've never teamed with Dae Young. Mm-hmm. Dae Young is the best person to tag with.
I think I did team with.
Because when me and Dae Young did Anti-Everything, most fun I've ever had as my favorite tag team. Because we were jokesters. We'd come out, talk shit, and then beat the shit out of you. Like, it was fun. And then just, it's been years since we've done that. And it's just been so much fun to see how much RSPW has grown. Like, since we've gotten you and a couple other people, RSPW has just grown, put themselves on the map. Like, there's a couple matches that I still want to see. Like, we haven't seen you versus Christian Cross on 1-on-1, I don't believe.
Nope.
We haven't seen you versus Drift 1-on-1, I don't believe.
No.
And if there is, I don't remember. There's been a bunch of matches that have not been seen in RSPW. And there's just so much that could potentially happen. We just need to find a way to make it happen. Like, I may be a quote-unquote part-timer, but I'm still here. And I'm still giving you your title shot. Mm-hmm. Whenever you're healed, you're going to get that one-on-one guaranteed match for the Northeastern Championship. Regardless if you're holding the other belts, you're doing whatever you're doing, you're going to get that match. Your call on when you want to do it. When and where you decide. We are back from a commercial break, and we forgot what the fuck we were talking about. You know, we were talking about tag teams, and I think it was talking about me and Dae Young. Besides that, we're going to leave off on tag teams. We're going to talk about your favorite moment. What is your favorite moment in RSPW history? Whether it involves you or not, what is your favorite moment in RSPW?
I have two, actually.
You have two. Let me hear these two moments.
The first moment was my debut match.
Do you remember who you faced?
I did. I do. I faced JR at the problem solver.
I do not miss him.
You said what?
I do not miss him.
Well, I mean, it was a special. I still look. It's special for me. My first match. Obviously, I came out on top. Hit the spear. First ever spear off the trampoline. Yeah.
Move is deadly.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm taking it.
I injured him, actually.
Like, bruised his ribs or some shit. And then what's your second moment?
When I won the RSPW Championship.
And you beat
Icon.
Oh boy, this will stir up some drama.
I beat him. He's scared of me. He's definitely scared of me. He know I got his number. He said it himself. I got his number. That's why he tried to take me out.
I've known Icon for going on 15 years. He's not afraid of nobody.
That's what you think.
I don't think he's afraid of you. I think he's just afraid of what he might do to you.
No. I mean, he tried his best, you know, his little black mask.
That shit hurts. Say what you want. That shit hurts.
I definitely ate it.
I've eaten it like once or twice too, but that one he clapped me with at the live stream show knocked me out. I don't remember him pinning me. I remember getting the black mask, waking up, and he's at the ramp calling someone a bitch. So, like, it was bad. It was bad. Because I rewatched the video, I'm like, oh. That's what happened.
I think because he knocked me out once with the black mask, and he's seen I kicked out. I think that's what scares him. He don't know what's gonna be able to take me out.
I think you're making him work harder than anybody's had to make him.
He got to.
Anybody has made him work before, so I think that's. I don't think he's afraid of you. I think he's afraid that he can't beat you. Like, he's not afraid of you. I just don't think that he knows that no matter what he does, you'll be able to come back.
And that's why I don't understand why he put this I quit stipulation. Because he knows I'm not going to quit.
But he knows he's not going to quit.
I definitely.
I'm going to have to bet money on it. I can't wait to see that match. Like, I have to see that. I have to see that match. Because I really don't know who win. Like, if I'm being honest, like, as a fan, I cannot pick between you two. As a superstar, I still can't pick between you two. Like, seeing your guys' characters right now, you and Carmelo Lee, I can't pick a winner. Like, I'd have to see the match. Like, it's just not something. It's like.
Well, you would have saw it next week, but.
It's pretty much like if you were to watch football, it'd literally be the Patriots versus the Patriots. Like, it's literally, you don't know who will win. Because it's like, you guys are pretty much the same, but so different at the same time. It's hard. It's definitely difficult, but you guys are RSPW's best. I don't put myself in the best conversation anymore since I'm always leaving and coming back. But
I wouldn't say I'm the best. I take it very seriously.
You are. You're one of you're top 5.
I definitely take it very seriously.
You're top 5. There hasn't been many people you're top 5.
You're right.
It's not that big of a list. Like, you got top 3, which is me and Icon are definitely in top 3.
I definitely think if I wouldn't have moved to Texas, I probably would have been champion before Icon. This reign that he has now, I don't think it would have been non and void.
He was still prophecy when he left, though, right?
He was.
No, the prophecy.
No, he wasn't. They broke up. It was him versus DeYoung.
Understandable. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember now. You just saw. I don't know if you watched it. Antonio Silva made a promo about Dark Scorpion, a character that is not.
I could care less.
But I just want to bring up the fact that you've never faced Dark Scorpion. Have you even met him?
I have.
You have met him, but you've never faced him. Is there a potential chance we could see that?
I mean, maybe I don't see no value in me facing him. Like
he is somewhat of a legend. Like, I guess depends on what your term of legend is, because apparently if you wobble up to a grill and attempt to stand on top of it, you're a legend. C2K. But I don't know. The word legend is thrown around so loosely in backyard. But Dark Scorpion's different. I faced him a lot. He's fun.
I mean, I'm not gonna say like he's not like one of those top tier guys, but I don't see no value in me facing him.
It's a dream match, though.
To some, wouldn't say to me.
Out of everybody in RSPW, who has been your favorite person to wrestle?
More than one, right? I can do more than one.
Yeah, if you want.
I'm gonna do 2. Obviously, Damian Sa1nt, you know.
I appreciate that. I like to think of myself as a very fun wrestler to fight.
An Icon, of course.
Some of your greatest matches have been against Icon. If you were to face anybody in RSPW right now that you haven't faced yet, who would it be?
Drift.
Drift?
Yeah.
Okay. My little trainee.
Yeah.
Okay. That actually be pretty cool. I'd like to see that, because Drift put on a great match against Icon I think it was like a year or 2 ago. He had this weird little table match that he was doing with Icon. It was so good. And I take a lot of pride in that because I trained him. So it was just fun.
Definitely Drift, yeah.
I still want to see you versus Christian.
Why?
I feel like that would just be a very underrated match. Like, a lot of people shit on Christian, but Christian's...
No, I have a lot of respect for Christian.
He's okay. Like I've said this in my last podcast. Like, I have problems with him outside of wrestling, but putting that aside, he is a great RSPW wrestler. He's come a long way from what he used to be. So
yeah,
it's always fun.
Maybe one day.
Another one-on-one match that I really want to see, especially after the Fatal 4-Way, you versus SW. One-on-one.
I do want that to happen. I definitely want that to happen.
You know, Icon or Carmelo Lee and SW. I don't think that's ever been a one-on-one match in RSPW. Maybe in EBW, which was SW's old company, but...
Well, I need to make that happen as soon as possible, because whenever this I Quit match, he's going to be on the shelf for a while. He's definitely going to be on the shelf.
I like the confidence. There's been a lot going on, outside RSPW, inside RSPW. Like, you guys are training for pro. You guys are definitely trying to balance 2 worlds, but you guys are also bringing it together at the same time. This could be a possible chance for Backyard to finally be recognized as an actual talent and not just some dumbass kids hurting themselves. I see this as an opportunity to make people understand that backyard wrestlers are a lot better, or can be a lot better than pros. Like, I get where the pros come from, but there's a lot of aspects to backyard wrestling that pros would never do. We have creative freedom. We can do a lot.
Yeah.
We can talk to each other. We can do a lot, and we're able to do things because we don't set boundaries. We don't have boundaries. Shit, you're power bombing me on pallets, like.
Right, and people like to see that.
Yeah,
they love to see that.
Fucking Carmelo's jumping out of his bedroom window, like out of his house. Like, we don't have set limits. Like, we don't have set times. But I feel like
those pro wrestlers, they're going to always be stuck in their ways about.
They're always going to be, but the newer generation, like, we're showing a lot of people that it's okay to start off in the backyard,
right,
and stay backyard. Like, necessarily, you don't have to go pro. Like, if I stayed backyard, I feel like I'd be a very, very, very skillful backyard wrestler. I could travel and go to fucking other people's backyards feds. I don't, because I don't want to, but I could.
Right.
But hypothetically, you can make a name for yourself off backyard.
Definitely, yeah.
Because, like, if you've never looked up backyard wrestling on YouTube before, you type in my name, your name, Icon's name, JC's name, like, something's going to pop up.
It's going to pop up.
Right. But it's difficult trying to balance between two worlds, yet you guys are doing it so well.
So let me ask you a question. Since you obviously watch backyard wrestling and stuff, which backyard fed would you want to join? Like, want to wrestle in the past, present, or future?
This is kind of a two-part answer. If I were to wrestle in any fed, I'd want to go to old school RUW. Just to shut them all up. They all suck. C2K, John Jackson, Dark Scorpion sucked back then too.
My cousin.
I don't care. They were all bad. Their videos were shit. They were bad. So I'd like to go back there and show them what real wrestling is, considering all of them like to talk shit about RSPW. My little rant. The other part of the question is, I would have loved to wrestle in EBW more than just my one appearance in SW's company. I only made one appearance there, and it was for some very, very, very shitty Royal Rumble in like 10-degree weather. It's fucking freezing. And that video's still up.
When you was doing Nene?
Yep, and I got super kicked in the chin by, I forgot his wrestling name. I'm not even going to try to remember it. But that's the only time I appeared on that show, and I felt like I could have
done more,
made it better. Yeah. But it's over.
That's the past.
It is. Right now, my main focus has been RSPW. Even though I've been taking breaks here and there, I still feel like I have a lot to offer, especially with a lot's been going through my mind, you know? So definitely look forward to seeing a different Saint on the 18th, debuting a new theme song, bunch of new stuff coming. Yeah. I want to get crowds involved. I want the crowds to be a part of my entrance, so that's kind of my goal.
Well, I'll definitely be in the crowd.
Yeah.
So I'll get hyped.
You better get ready.
I'll definitely get hyped.
Better get ready. Maybe you can hold my belt.
Maybe hold some championship until I hold mine.
How do you feel about the Empire? Antonio Silva had a lot of things to say. He really didn't mention you much, and I felt like that was kind of weird. But he really didn't mention you.
I feel like every day, every show, it's a new faction, and I'm sick of seeing it. Like, I don't understand why people need somebody to watch it. Like,
I've been stuck on this since Antonio Silva tried to deny it. He's just using Carmelo. That's how it's always worked with him. Whether he's JC or Antonio Silva, he's always been the guy to do whatever he needs to do to get that belt. And I feel like he's using Carmelo. But, could be wrong. Maybe he's changed. But the cycle will always repeat itself.
I mean, the only reason that Antonio Silva has the title is because of Carmelo. He interfered in the match.
And there's been a lot of times, like, I don't know what's come over Carmelo. Like, I remember when we were just doing a promo with Taco Bell. That was fun. But now it's become it's becoming scary because wrestling's all about having two personas. You have your character and you have you. And the thing about Carmelo is what makes it scary is he's not playing a character.
He's playing himself.
He's playing himself, and that's dangerous.
He's egotistical.
I wouldn't call it egotistical. I'd call it the sport has consumed him to the point where he feels like he can't be anybody else but Carmelo. He's let the mindset and the ability to be the best stay with him in his regular life, which not necessarily is a bad thing, but it makes it a lot more difficult because if he does lose that belt, we're going to see another side of him that we haven't seen at all. We're not going to get a face Carmelo Lee. We're going to get something worse than what he is now. And you know that. Like, it would be same thing for you, same thing for me if I was in his position. But it's not going to be something that the fans...
What you do is that title. I'm not worried about how he's going to be towards me. I'm worried about how he's going to be towards Antonio Silva. But I definitely think Antonio Silva should definitely watch his back. I don't know why I mean, I get that they're brothers, but I definitely wouldn't trust Carmelo Lee.
One thing that's for certain is Carmelo has never turned on anybody in his career. I do not think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I turned on him multiple times. Yeah, Young's turned on him.
I mean, I wouldn't say I turned on him,
but a lot of people have made their heel turns to a face icon.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when Carmelo decides to turn on somebody? Since it's never been seen before, what happens if Carmelo turns on Silva? What happens there? What happens if he turns on anybody? What happens? Nobody knows because it's never been done before.
I definitely think it's going to come. Because when he loses his title, he's going to get jealous. He doesn't have a title, but his brother do.
But I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. It's dangerous to think about what he'll do if he loses that belt because that belt is him. Mm-hmm. He's had that belt for so long; it's hard to see it on anybody else.
He almost had his year.
Yeah, and he's close to beating JC's Silva's record. So coming up on that, just say nobody's beating my record. Most belts held in RSPW history. I'm at like 25 right now.
You had to
combined.
lose a lot of matches though.
Oh, dude, my win-loss record is terrible. Like absolutely horrendous. Like I have more losses than wins, but all of my wins, most of my wins have been title wins. Like, I have, 31 wins and, 70-something losses, but, 24, 25 of those wins were for titles. So, if you think about it, I only win when it matters. And at least that's how Carmelo told me to look at it. Yeah, you may have a lot of losses, but all these wins, in a way, if you...
Believe it or not, I only held one title.
It's the only way to make my losses positive.
Yeah, I've only held one title. Sad to say.
But you were dominant with that title.
Yeah, I was. I definitely feel like I need more.
And you will. The reason I have so many titles, I tell people this all the time, it's not because I feel like I'm better than everybody. It's I'm not overrated or anything. It's I saw something in a competitor, like Nightcrawler. Mm-hmm. That's another person who I'd like to see you fight.
I fought him.
You did?
I did.
I don't remember that.
He beat me, actually.
I'd have to...
Yeah.
Okay, I'd have to watch that, because I'm curious. But Nightcrawler, Christian Cross at certain times, Drift, Day Young, a lot of people, Gason K, I've given opportunities to people who don't deserve them. I would win a belt, have a decent reign with it, but it'd be okay, it's time for someone else to take this belt, Let's say I want to feud with Nightcrawler. I'll give him the belt, we'll feud for it, who knows, maybe I'll let him keep it and I'll move on to someone else. I would lose the belt, and then they wouldn't show up. So we'd have a champion who wasn't there, and I was there all the time. So I always made the same mistake, because I always lost to the wrong person. like, regardless of it being scripted or anything like that, like, me being a 13-time Northeastern champion, out of every single time I've been champion, there's only been one time where I demanded that I win, and that was this past time at this Fatal 4-Way. It's the only time I made the decision on I'm going to win this belt. So those other 12 times, it's not because, you know, I demanded. It's just like it was either Silva and Carmelo feuding for the RSPW championship, and nobody had the Northeastern, so it was always me and Dae Young. Like, if we add up Dae Young's title reigns, he's probably just about as close as me, because I was the first ever double champ. Dae Young was the first ever 2-time double champ, but no one has ever held all 3 belts at the same time. So is there a possibility we may see, maybe that will be on your bucket list? You know, there's been a lot of records set and broken by me and Carmelo and JC and Dae Young. So you're looking at the top 4, the 4 guys that made RSPW. And now we have you, who has the potential to come in and be that 5th member, that centerpiece.
I mean, if I can be frank, it's really not, I really don't care about the titles. The only reason I care about this title because of who the title is on. That's the only reason.
I can definitely see that. I understand that mentality, but
I mean,
everybody wants that belt. Everybody. We know Silva wants it. We know you want it. Hell, I even want it. It's just I have the IQ not to go after it right now. I'm going to go after it when it's someone I know I can beat. Like you. Yeah, really? Yeah, I'm getting a little ballsy here, you know?
I hear you.
Yeah, if you weren't crippled right now, I'd be whooping your ass. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. But in reality, I love everybody in RSPW, you know? You are a phenomenal athlete, you know? I've seen what you can do in the ring. It's scary. I've seen what you do to me, and it's fucking scary, and I'm in the middle of it. I remember you picked me up for a powerbomb. You could just see me rolling my eyes. I'm like, son of a bitch. And then you just, regardless if it's on mattresses, that shit still hurts.
It cannot be controversial here.
Controversial. We love it here. I am king of controversial.
I would definitely love to see one person come back. And y'all are not gonna like this. Grayson K.
No. Nope.
I definitely would love to see Grayson K.
It's not controversial. We all hate him.
That's why it's controversial.
But we don't hate him because he is a bad talent. Like, he was decently talented. He just needed to work on some stuff. But his outside of wrestling, he let it go to his head way too fast, and it just became toxic, very toxic. And then Prince Icon at the time leveled his shit. Yeah. Knocked his ass out.
I never got to have a one-on-one.
I did. I made the mistake of losing. And now we no longer have a title belt because of it. Another one of the famous Damien saying, hey, let's give someone a push. Mistake. So. Yeah. And I also have the record of losing to every single rookie that ever starts. Yeah. It's so fun. Like I have so many records, good and bad. I have the most losses, the most title wins. It's so dumb. But that's what you get when you're in a fucking wrestling fed with 5 roster members. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll have another one.
Oh, is this the rumor for the 18th you were talking about? Maybe. Well, we're cutting close to 40 minutes. So anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to say to anybody? There's been a lot going on. RSPW has definitely grown a lot. And you've been a key factor in that.
I'm just looking for a new venue.
You're getting tired of the backyard?
I am getting a little tired of the backyard.
Oh,
I feel
trust
we need
me.
More space.
I feel like
the new season of RSPW, we definitely should look for different space.
Can definitely work on that. We have to. We want to continue to grow.
Yeah.
I feel like you made RSPW better, and say what you want. You don't have to agree with it. When you came and you debuted, you blew everyone away, for one. And not only that, every single person that faced you has gotten better. They've wanted to do better. I've never seen Carmelo do what he does against anybody. And when you were in Texas, he never, ever shut the fuck up about you. Ever. And I don't want to say that's a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing. Like, he was mostly talking shit because, he wanted to whoop your ass.
Right.
And he did. When you came back, he whooped your ass. But you were rusty. It's okay. We all have our moments. But every single person you face, you made them come back better. Like, when we fought and I put my career on the line, I came back with the mindset to be the best. Again, like, put myself back on that mountain, solidify myself as Sa1nt, the guy on top, the powerhouse, the guy who could do it all. And I did that. Like, when we were coming back for the return show, the pay-per-view where I had against you and J-Mac and SW, I non-stop worked out for months. Like, 4 months when I found out this match was happening. I'm doing workouts at work, at home, and I'm just doing this routine every day. Like, I was doing 170 push-ups a day all the time, like, working out at home. I got a barbell at home and a weightlifting set at home. I do that all the time. I was once I knew you were going to be in that match, I instantly decided to better myself physically to get involved, because I know I'm gonna have to lift you up. No offense to your size. I know I'm gonna have to lift up J-Mac, like. And I wanted to be able to do that with ease and not struggle, because last time I picked up J-Mac, I struggled, and that made me mad, because I used to be able to pick him up with ease. And when I heard you were going to be around, I knew I had to be my best. I knew I had to be 110% just to be able to face you, because anything less than that, you would have won. And I feel like I gave 110% in that match. But next time I'm going to give 120.
You're going to definitely need it. You're going to need it if you face me.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how that match is going to play out. Oh, and about your mom and you being a mistake thing, I want to apologize for that. It was very childish. It's very childish. It was very...
I kidnapped somebody's girlfriend. We all make mistakes.
Dude, I watched that video and I just could not help but laugh when that camera turned on her. I was like I was dead.
Nobody thought. But I want to say this. I definitely would love to see my boy J-Mac back. Maybe one of these days he'll
maybe one day.
I will just have to have a long conversation with him.
There's just been a lot of, like, personal stuff that I really don't want to talk about on the podcast. Not really personal stuff, but, like, there's been a lot of stuff that happened outside of wrestling that doesn't need to get brought into wrestling, and that is what we tried to escape. And the problem has been sort of resolved in the wrestling aspect, but outside of that, the situation has not fully been solved. And to avoid further issues, J-Mac is kind of on a hiatus from RSPW. Same thing with SW. I heard he's coming back. There's just a lot of stuff going on that really doesn't need to get talked about to the public. So it's stressful situations.
I definitely tried to reach out to him, but it didn't go so well. So maybe second time's the charm. And I do have a question for you.
Yes.
And I want your honest answer.
Me and honesty doesn't work too well.
When is Jordan gonna get in the ring?
Jordan. Who's Jordan?
Your girlfriend.
Oh shit. Sa1nt has a girlfriend. I don't know. She loves watching me wrestle. Mm-hmm. She loves being at the shows, but she does not show interest in wanting to be a part of it. Like,
manager,
Carmelo's girlfriend, like, she wants to be involved and she wants to do that, which is cool. I respect my girlfriend's decision to stay out of it, because I wouldn't want anything to happen to her, obviously. If she ever showed interest in wanting to be involved, like, I would gladly support it, but I'm not going to force it upon her. She wants to just be a crowd member and cheer me on. She can do that. She may be a little camera shy. I'm unsure. Haven't really tested it, but I don't know.
I definitely would love to see her.
I'd love to see her by my side, but I don't think she's the type of man. I don't think she's a manager type. I don't. But I could be wrong. Maybe she wants to act. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe that's something I'll have a talk with her about. Who knows? Maybe June 18th she'll be my... I have a surprise for July 2nd. There's no confirmed match card. Sorry to change topic. But I don't think I talked about this in my last podcast. No, I did not. I have a return for July 2nd.
Oh, do you really?
He's wrestled one match in RSPW, but I don't think it was uploaded on this channel. I don't want to spoil it. I'm related to this person though.
Oh.
He will be returning on July 2nd, and he is going to be my manager for my match, whoever I will face at July 2nd show. And it's going to be fun. A lot of people might not know who he is. He does have a name for himself. It's probably not a good name, but it'll be fun to be able to share what I do with my relative, like who loves wrestling just about as much as I do, if not more. So definitely excited for that. And a lot of people get to meet him. I don't think you've met him.
I don't think I ever met him.
And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, July 2nd.
I'm looking forward to both shows.
Oh, I'm looking forward to the 18th. I'm looking forward to shutting Day Young up. I'll be damned if I'm being demanded to do shit.
There you go. Acting Jim. That's what he is.
That shit kind of had me tight, yo. Not even going to lie.
Well, you have to defend.
I know I have to defend. And I have no problem with defending, but he demanded it. And then he demanded that I fight him. I don't like that. I don't like that. Damian Saint, me, I've always played by my own rules. I don't like being told what to do.
Just look at that.
Oh, I'm going to. Spoiler alert, I'm going to retain. Let that be known. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in action again. I do wish you a speedy recovery.
Maybe July 2nd.
July 2nd. Kind of gave me a little turn on.
July 2nd. I definitely should be back. If, the higher ups will let me.
Oh, the higher ups. I mean, they don't. There's not many people in this company. We're getting towards the end of the podcast, kind of losing topics to talk about. I do have one question for you. What is your future goal for RSPW? I feel like we'll end that on a high note on your career. You've obviously done a lot, and you obviously want to continue to do more. Right now, you're in a thing with Carmelo Lee, and what happens when that's over? Let's say you win the belt. Where does TJ or Ty Remedy go from there?
I'm not losing the belt. No damn soon.
But
I'm going for the record.
Oh, you're going for the record?
I'm going for the record.
You're not going to try to get all three?
I don't need it. I don't think I need it.
What if my goal is to get all three?
That's fine. But you have to beat me for it. And I doubt that's going to happen.
You sure about that?
I'm positive.
We're tied.
We are.
If you count our one-on-ones, we're tied. 3-3, I believe. Or, it's 3-3. Who knows? Maybe I have your number. Actually, no, you have my number. So, yeah, because the last one-on-one match we had, you beat me.
Maybe. I don't feel like I need 3. I just need 1. I don't even need this one. I just want it because of who was on.
I mean, could we potentially see, not saying you're going to ever beat me, but could we see the first ever Northeastern RSPW World Heavyweight Champion? No one's ever held those two belts at the same time.
Maybe I might just beat Carmelo for the title and drop it. You never know.
You just want to prove you can beat him. It's cocky.
That's what's going to hurt him. I just want him to feel pain. Me taking the title from him and dropping it right after is like a kick in the face.
Is that a little spoiler?
Maybe.
A lot of teasers in this podcast. So we're probably gonna end it there. Hope to see you back soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
June 18th, July 2nd, next 2 confirmed shows. We're gonna figure out who hit you in that car. That's very important.
We are.
That's very important to the RSPW.
We know who set it up, but we don't know who was in the car. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we definitely gotta figure that out because you're owed a lot of money.
I am.
A lot of money.
I did call you William Batar. I did call them.
444-4444. I would have personally called Salino Barnes or Barnes now because
but Barnes had Salino killed. That's what I think.
That's what I'm saying, 100%. Because as soon as he died, motherfucker replaced all the billboards immediately.
Yeah.
Who knew what he was doing?
I definitely think it was a setup.
It was definitely a setup, just like your car accident.
Yeah.
Maybe Salino or Barnes or whichever one's still alive set up your car accident just to get a William Attar.
Well, I've been in contact with William Attar. He's giving me a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. There's enough money to buy the belt from Carmelo.
If I wanted to.
All right, well, that's the end of the Talk of Sa1nt podcast. Next episode coming out soon. Don't know who I'm going to interview. Probably going to be Carmelo. I feel like I haven't talked to him in a while. I don't want to, but he scares me. But besides that, I want to thank Ty Remedy for joining me, and everybody wish him a speedy recovery. And you are going to get that one-on-one match against me. I promise that. I promise that.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for listening to the Talk of Sa1nt podcast. Catch you on the next times. See ya.